Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Survivalist Dan, and this is your daily prep. Today is Gear Review Wednesday, and in today's prep episode, I wanted to give you a look at the Country Living grain mill. Probably a lot of you guys are familiar with the grain mill, or have at least heard of it. Today, I wanted to take it out, put some grain through it, kind of show you guys the assembly, how to use it, how to adjust the grain size for finer or coarser grain, and just in general, sort of talk about some of the things that make the Country Living grain mill a really good solution for your grain grinding. So I got this countertop clamp base here, and you can see the countertop comes in here like that, and then you adjust the little pegs right here with the turning screw to make it a little bit tighter and to secure up to the countertop. But you can see that the grain mill just kind of slides nicely over these posts here, these mounting posts, and then each one has a series of hardware. There's a nylon washer, there's a steel washer, and then just a little screw here, or excuse me, a wing nut that you can tighten up. So I'm going to do this to each one. So with this secured on here in place, the next step is to actually mount the wheel. There we go. Put this big cast iron crank wheel on here. This is where the action is going to happen with the grinding. And this guy is made out of cast iron, like I said. It comes with a little tiny peg that you just slide in here. You guys can probably see that there's like a little square-shaped indentation. And that, if you don't put this guy in, then turning this doesn't turn the actual the bearings to grind the grain. So you do have to have this little guy in here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so now the little square guy's in. So now when I turn the wheel, see how the bearing actually moves? That's how the grain gets grinded. So you gotta have that little guy in there. And then, depending on your setup, I opted to go with the higher leverage handle. This is a small upgrade actually. If you don't have this though, you'll just have this handle assembly, and you can secure it to this hole right here. So once again, another washer and just a small bolt right here. Okay, and you can kind of see how that snugs up there against the cast iron flywheel for added leverage. So now really guys, with that in place, I mean that is essentially the out of the box, all you have to do to get the Country Living grain mill ready to rip. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be grinding a little bit of wheat. I'm going to take a couple handfuls just for demo purposes, throw it in the hopper up top here. And then I'm going to keep one hand kind of down here, and then just start grinding away. Alright guys, so I ground for about 2 minutes, and I got about that much. Not a ton. Not a ton. Definitely takes some work to hand grind it, which kind of is a good time for me to probably talk about why have a hand grinder. The fact that this guy can be used without electricity, in my opinion, is awesome. I love that. I want something that doesn't have to be totally dependent upon the grid, quote unquote. The other thing that makes it nice is that this actually can be configured to work with a motorized unit. This giant flywheel right here has grooves in it to where a belt can be configured to come around and then over to a motor. So it works like in a pulley system where you have a motor, powers the belt, and actually turns the wheel for you. So it is nice that you have the capability, but as I mentioned, you're not tied to it. You can do it by hand if you need to. If you need to punish your kids, this is a good way. The other thing that's really cool that probably some of you guys have seen is they actually use that same pulley system with the belt to hook up to exercycles. As you pedal and you watch TV or you read your book or whatever you do while you exercise, you can actually be grinding grain. So let's take a look now at what to do if you do want to go ahead and switch the setting. So I have my flywheel on this side. You guys, that's the side that's been facing the camera, and then if we flip it around, you can see that on the back here we have this little knob. On this side it says fine with an arrow going down, and on this side it says coarse going this way. So I want to go ahead now. I've got some pretty fine stuff. I mean, it's very Super, super fine. I mean, that's flour, essentially. So say, what if I want to make like some cracked wheat or something, and I want to just get this thing really, really coarse. You're going to see some grain come out here. But I'm going to go ahead and just crank it on over, get it really, really open it up, and let's do it about, it's raining wheat right now. Yeah, let's do it about there. Here you can see the good old cracked wheat. Much coarser. Looks like you could use it for hot cereal or something as compared to this guy, flour. There's two bearings in the Country Living grain mill. One that is about one that's about there, and another one over here. So both those bearings work in concert to turn the grinding mechanism as you crank this wheel. So the importance of that, guys, is that when you crank this guy, you're going to be putting a lot of force on the mechanism in here. There's wheat sitting on top of it, and if you don't have super, super strong parts, then it's very easy for this to give. And you know, your grain mill is essentially out. With the Country Living grain mill, you have two bearings instead of one. A lot of systems only have one, so you're getting two here. And instead of like a brass bushing, which you'll find in a lot of systems, these are both stainless steel, super hardcore, industrial grade bearings. So they're not going to go out on you. Everything is warranted in case you do need it, but you won't. Dating way back to like the caveman days, there was stone grinders, and the people that ground their grain with those things ended up like losing all their teeth because they're grinding little pieces of grit, stone grit, up in the flour that they were making. So fast forward to modern day grinders, and there still were stones used, but they were more of like an aluminum coated thing, which is equally terrible for you. So the cool thing about Country Living is it's made with those two really super, super sturdy industrial grade bearings, and then the grinding mechanism itself is made out of a high carbon steel. How about a little rice action? Can you do rice in this thing? Sure. Let's do it right now. Make a little rice flour. And here's a little look at the rice flour. I ground this guy up super, super fine, which is a little bit of hard work, but that's how I wanted it. So it's like just powdery, powdery. You can see it there. Other stuff, coffee, corn, beans, other legumes, anything that you really want to crack, roll, grind, mash. Alright guys, so once again that is the Country Living grain mill. It's American made. The guys are out of Washington. Super cool. I'm really excited. You can bet I'm going to have a prep episode here in the near future. What's up, Snacks? This is his seal of approval too. You can bet I'm going to have a prep episode though in the near future doing the bike rig. I'm really intrigued by that. And the motorization probably as well. Although I don't know, that the bike thing first. I really like that. At any rate, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Revivalist Dan, and this has been your Daily Prep.